But before we get into all that, we are going to start with our song recommendations for this week.
Yes.
Miss Andrusel, would you like to do the honors of starting us off?
My recommendation this week is oh my God, the Polities Open Arms. There you go, Open Arms. I like it a lot. I just think his voice is beautiful, and I mean, hopefully it's not spoilers for anyone, but obviously he dies.
Rest in peace.
You will be
I mean,
missed.
it happens like what, 4 songs in? Like,
In the second saga.
Yeah, second saga, but still.
I mean, it's just like
It's early. You should know by now.
yeah, it's like
Sorry.
Unless this is your video to try to get
But
you
I
into
think-
it.
Don't.
My fault.
Yeah.
for me,
bad.
Spoiler
I think
warning.
that's
Yeah.
why I like it so much, is because like he's no longer with us, you know, and it was a really good song that he sang.
Yeah.
I like his voice a lot.
It has
so.
like an air of like tragedy to it because you're listening to it, knowing what happens to him, and then knowing what could have been.
Poor Apologies.
True.
Honestly, one of my
his
favorites.
Poor lover. No, I'm joking.
Low key though.
Subtext.
They
Subtext
got
is
a little-
subtext.
They're a little sus, but it's all right. I
Yeah.
fuck with it.
I have a potential theory.
As I've
later
said
on.
before, they've certainly explored each other's bodies
Oh,
at
for
one
sure.
point.
Oh, for sure.
It's been 10 years since they've been home. They
Yeah.
have to get creative.
You know.
Yeah.
True.
You know.
He can't be with another woman. He loves Penelope too much.
True.
Facts.
Anyways,
Austin, you're up next.
my song is No Longer You. No Longer You. I know we've recommended some of the others. Luck Runs Out is another favorite of mine, but No Longer You, it's like they both fight each other for the top spot. I think No Longer You.
Yo.
I think
Domestic violence.
Emotional damage.
No Longer You is just it's got like a special place where in the sequence of the story in Act 1, it's like it's kind of like that moment of twist in the story for at least Odysseus, where he's like, wait, so everything is not mattered at all, and then it's also has this energy of like mystery because it's also foretelling things to come later down the line. So in one part,
And if you know, you know.
yeah,
If you know, listen, if you're familiar with the Odyssey, you will truly understand how fucking legendary that song is. It's crazy.
and on top of that, I think it also presents. So like it does two things. It's also a really good song. And B, it has so much like plot potential as well as it has a lot to munch on in terms of like subtext, narrative. I use food analogies. Anyways,
I'm a munch.
Yep.
relax. That I mean, I can go on and on. It's just good. It's just that good. Also, when the Underworld came out, he didn't need to do a fourth song because all 3 songs were so good, and the fact that No Longer You is the favorite. I mean, there's so much to say. But to wrap up, No Longer You. That's my pick. That's my favorite. Yes.
Sick. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a
You gotta start yapping
thing here. I'm gonna start yapping for a little bit.
Oh boy. Strap in.
So, my song recommendation for this week is "Just a Man" from the Troy Saga. Now, this song is very special. It's the first song I ever heard from Epic because I would hear kind of the end bit on TikTok and a lot of clips, and I was like, "Wow, that song sounds really nice. I want to listen to that song for real." And then that's what led me to the Troy Saga. And then I learned shortly after the Cyclops Saga was coming out, and it's about Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology, so it's just it was great. So yeah,
better.
exactly. So yeah, that's my pick. Very good song, very beautiful. It sounds very nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's my time. Alex, what is your pick?
My pick this week is My Goodbye. It's the last song in the second saga, the Polyphem.
Cyclops.
Yep.
That's the specific Cyclops, but it's the Cyclops saga.
Polyphemus.
Yeah. But I enjoy it. One, it's just sonically, I don't know if that's the word. As a song, just very good. I like the individual vocals, the combination of both vocals. And it is like arguably like the first like major, I guess, like change that happened after like the Just a Man and like kind of like it being like, so like him sparing Polyphemus and then like then that causing the falling out between Odysseus and Athena.
Yeah.
And then setting like the course of him being like, well, I'm gonna start making my own decisions, not based off of like the expectations of like the gods and yeah, there are things that want me to be heartless and be cruel and stuff like that.
Which is also interesting because it also is like it's a moment where he is very strained emotionally as well, and like Athena to come in and like crack down and double down, like hey, like almost like a I told you so moment, and he's like I don't want to hear that right now. All right, my best friend just died. Please leave me the fuck alone.
Back up,
Yeah, and I think that it's got the implication of like trying to break free so he can make his own choices, but then also it's piggybacked off of the fact that he had this tragic death happen in front of him, only for his mentor to like criticize him for it, and that's not what you want to hear in that moment.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's both powerful and somber.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and definitely, and even in like when you're talking about like how, sorry, I get distracted easy. But like it connecting back to Just a Man, where even like in that song, Athena uses it against him and being like, "Oh, you won't get it because you're just a man."
You're just a man,
like
yeah.
you're not really seeing the like whole picture,
Or
like
even
you
being
should
like, you will,
Yeah.
you're not there yet, but
Yeah.
you'll understand what I'm saying.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's very, you know, it's a
So-
little heartbreaking, like because they had like a bond despite both of them, like it not being spoken aloud, but they had a bond. You know, they were both hurt at the breaking up, if you will.
The friendship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
or
Yeah, it's just very good. It definitely helped motivate or like be like the motivation behind some of his choices later on, and it's just all around just a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a
Also,
listen.
One of my favorite animatics was for this song as well. So I think that like in terms of like musical cinematography, it's got one of the more potential like exciting cinematic aspects to it, where you can the creators who do animatics for the Epic, the Odyssey, they take a really good job playing with it and having fun with it and stuff like that. So.
Absolutely love the like clock, like the I forget what it's called, like the quick time, like the
stopwatch
st-
motif.
yeah, like with Athena and stuff like that. Love it.
There's a name for it. It's like
he says it a couple times. I forget though.
yeah.
Wait.
No, there's like a name for that thing that Athena does. It's like her power. Like the gods all have like a power, and hers is like she can like pause time. It's like there's a name for it that Jorge came up with that I can't remember.
I forget right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is, maybe it'll be posted right here somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe
I can
we'll
find that
see. We'll see.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like that song. One thing I meant to say about Just a Man as well. There are certain songs like throughout the musical that like when I'm listening to them, I can see them like being performed on stage. And My Goodbye is another one.
Absolutely
that's
one of
like,
them. Yeah.
like especially during the bit where he like basically like tells Athena that she's an old, raggedy, and alone.
Yeah.
Like I can see like the stage production being like a scene where like she's like faced away from him, and then he like realizes that he said something terrible. So then he like reaches out to her to try to console her because he recognizes that she's like that saddens her. But then she starts singing again, basically being like, "All right, fuck you then," and then he stops
yeah.
like.
And that's literally
Trying to reach
when
out
that's
to
what
her, I
leads
guess.
into the Just the Man comment that she makes. That like you're not gonna understand. It's like one. Is it?
Am I wrong? I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think just.
Because he says, "You're alone."
no, that is-
and then,
no, it does
lead
into it.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
one
yeah,
day
yeah.
you'll understand, and
Yeah.
like that stuff.
For after all, you're just a
Yeah.
man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
All I'm saying is like the this day you'll cut
You
off
sever-
your own
you severed
sever
your
your
own
own hand. Well, that's a bar, bro. That's hard. Anyway.
pick it apart.
So, that being said,
Yes.
if you want to listen to all of our music recommendations, including the ones from this episode, you can find them on our very special playlist called
Do the thing.
Dubois Music Recommendations.
Thank you.
And Jorge himself, the creator of the musical, has also put out a playlist with all of the musicals in the sagas in order for you to listen to. And I would recommend doing that because they are fantastic.
They're all really
Very
good.
Very good. 10 out of 10
Very
all of
good.
them.
Indeed.